Hello, my name is Scott Schulman. I am the program director here at Camp Grace. I work with helping develop the program, recruiting the summer staff. I do some odd jobs as well, like helping with the finances, helping Marlon Driscoll, who's our director, with different projects that he has. And so we have a small staff here at Camp Grace, so all of us do a little bit of everything.
I'm Wayne Fitzgerald. I'm the operations director, but I also help Scott with program stuff, planning, with running activities, and I'm also in charge of music.
As most of you know, we had a wildfire here at Camp Grace in 2012, and it burned down a lot of the trees and most of our buildings. But by God's grace, we've been able to rebuild a lot of what we had and actually have started building new things that we never have had before. We want to show you some of the things that we've been able to build due to the generosity of people donating money to fund our projects, the generosity of people coming up to volunteer, and then also sending campers to use what we've built in order to change lives for eternity. So we want to show you a little bit of what God has done.
You're good.
This is the wash house. We have a men's bathroom and a women's bathroom, each with 4 toilet stalls, 4 sinks, and 4 showers with their own locking door and changing area. We also have a laundry room in the middle, and this is a really comfortable, climate-controlled restroom, and it was actually the very first building that we built after the fire. This is the Grand Hall. This is a 30 by 70 pavilion, and we use one half of it for games, outdoor games like checkers and that kind of stuff, and then this half we use for our speaking. We've sided the inside of this so that it's a little bit warmer when it gets cold. It blocks the wind and it eliminates distractions, so kids can't look outside and just see people walking around or driving up or anything like that. This area seats comfortably about 60 people, and we use it every summer for preaching, for games, and a bunch of different things. All right, this is our Sutler store. This building was the original canteen here at Camp Grace, and it was originally just this block building. As you can see, this roof is a lot bigger than the building. We purposely designed it that way so that it's 4 times as big as the building to get more shade. So that we have a nice seating area outside here. And then on the inside, we just got this done last year, and it looks pretty nice. We want to show you inside this building. This is the inside of our Sutler store. As you can see, we have drywall on a couple of the walls, and in the other walls we have siding. And this siding is actually milled at Camp Grace. We used all the logs that we could, and really liked the look of it, and that it's actually from here at camp, which is a pretty cool thing. We use this as our store, so we have different products here: hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, and then candy and soda. And then we also are using this right now as an office. This is one of our only climate-controlled buildings, so it's warm when it's cold outside. So we're looking forward to building more of those climate-controlled buildings in the near future. All right, this is the overlook. This is our kitchen pavilion. So we have 2 structures that are connected to this. We have the kitchen, which is obviously where we do all of our cooking. It's a small trailer. It can get pretty tight in there, but they cook us really delicious food. And then we have the second trailer that's next to it, and that is our new dish room. So we were donated a new dishwasher this summer, which we're looking forward to being able to use next summer. And then you can see these nice pavers down here. It's a really beautiful place to just sit and enjoy fellowship with other people, and to enjoy really good food as well. We call it the overlook because of the view that it has. And even if we take a video of it, it really doesn't do it any justice. You just have to come up here and see it. But there's a beautiful view of the town of Wheatland and the valley right below. So we love to just be able to enjoy God's creation all over Camp Grace. And when we're eating, it's just a great opportunity to see the beauty that God has created here.
This is what the new cabins look like here at Camp Grace. The design of these cabins is what we're gonna build all our cabins from now on like. Just like the store, as you can see on the outside, it's wood siding that's actually taken from this area, so it's very near and dear to Camp Grace. And
this is the inside of our new cabins. The dimensions for these are 16 by 32, so they're easy to build that
Correct.
way. And as you can see, we have a sink over here. We have a separate room for the shower and the toilet so that campers can do both at the same time. We have 5 bunks in here, and eventually we're going to replace these metal ones with custom-built wood bunks. And then over here we have kind of a big area, and what we're going to do is we're going to put a Murphy bed right here that's a queen size so that we can have couples retreats, family camps, really just expand our camp possibilities to be able to serve people in churches more effectively.
This is our newest construction project. It went up this past summer. It got to this point in just 2 weeks. The outside is done. The inside is just a shell, just a skeleton, waiting to be finished.
All right, this is our multi-purpose building on the inside. So you can see it's not completed yet, but it is dried in. We have insulation that's ready to be put up as soon as we get some volunteers up here to finish that. This area right here where we're standing, we're going to be using for a meeting room. We're going to call that the rendezvous. And we're going to be putting in some temporary walls to be able to use this building most effectively. So the first temporary wall will go in right about here, and we'll go this way so that we can fit about 80 people inside this area. This will be the very first inside meeting area that we've had at Camp Grace since the fire, which will be very, very helpful in the summer because the Grand Hall is really nice, but when it gets cold, it's, that's a little bit of a distraction, and then when it rains, it just has a tin roof with no insulation on the top, so it can get pretty loud in there. This will eliminate both of those distractions in a big way. It will also be really helpful in the spring and the fall because we will be able to open up camps and have people come up here and have a warm meeting area in those colder months. We'll also be able to use the other side, on the other side of the temporary wall, for a dining area if we need to, if it's cold in those months. We've set this up in such a way that once we fill our capacity at Camp Grace and we really need more cabins, we can have 2 more cabins without building anything else. We'll put a temporary wall down the middle here, so we'll still have this meeting room, and then we'll be able to have 2 different cabins right here, each with a bathroom with a shower and sink, so that will be a really helpful use of this building. In the future, we may use this for offices, for program area, really whatever. We've built it in such a way that we can accommodate a lot of different uses in the future.
It's very important to remember our heritage. We just talked about the newest building on the camp property. The building behind us right now is the oldest building on the camp property. It's actually the original homestead, the first building that was ever on this property. And it's had many uses through the years, but the main use has been a cabin. And before the fire, it was a cabin. After the fire, it survived the fire, and it became 2 cabins. The front half was Ransom, and the back half was Omaha. This building has a special place in my heart because I counseled out of the front side, out of Ransom, for 2 summers, and got very well acquainted with this cabin. It's an old cabin. It's rustic. It's well ventilated, but it served its purpose, and it was what God knew we needed for those first couple summers after the fire. This is the shop. The shop was built in 2015, but it's a work in progress. And this past summer, we poured the pad, and we also did some system work, the electrical work, and also some plumbing for the bathroom in the back and an RV hookup. The shop functions as a number of things right now. It's storage, it's parking, and it's project staging. In the future, it'll be the auto shop, the ground shop, the metal shop, and the wood shop.
This is Tranquility Terrace Mobile Home Park. I named it Tranquility Terrace before I had children, so the name doesn't really apply very much anymore, but that's okay. These are the 2 trailers that our families live in. Wayne and Riley live in that one right over there, and my family lives in this one right here. Both of these trailers were given to camp, so we're very thankful for them. They've served us very, very well, and but as things grow older over time, break down, etc., there's presented itself a new need for us. The trailer that Wayne and Riley are in right now is great size and everything, but it has stopped. The heat has stopped working in it, and they have a leak right above their bed. So middle of the night, last thing you want is to be cold and wet, and that is their situation right now. My trailer is great. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it, but it is a one-bedroom trailer, and I have 2 children now, so we have had to get a little creative with making a bedroom for them where a table used to be, and so we're growing out of that one. We are praying that God will supply the funds for a new 2-bedroom travel trailer before next summer, so that my family can have a little bit more comfortable place to live. And then when that happens, Wayne and Riley can move into the trailer that we have now. So God has always provided everything that we've needed exactly when we need it. So we'll look forward to seeing how He meets this need in both of our families' lives. All right, this is right next to the shop, so you can see the shop right over there to our right. And just until recently, this was a bunch of trees. They had all burned in the fire. But as you can see, there's a ton of these piles, so we were able to cut them all down and pile them up. We'll get rid of those this winter. And this is where our homes are going to be. So right now we live in travel trailers, and in the future we'll actually be building homes right here on this spot. So before we do that, obviously we need our systems. So we already have the electric over here because of the shop, but we'll need to drill a well, and we'll need to have septic systems in here for each home. But we're hoping to do all of that, Lord willing, in the next 5 years. This is the chimney. We use this as an outdoor fire pit. This chimney was actually part of the lodge that was built here in 1915. The lodge burned down in the fire of 2012, so it almost survived for 100 years. The lodge had a lot of rich history to it. It was used as a hotel way back in the day, and it was used as cabins, as a meeting room for preaching when we had summer camp here. And so we like to be able to use it. People asked us if we were going to tear it down with everything else, and we really wanted to keep it just as a reminder of what our history is here at Camp Grace.
This area is very important to Camp Grace program, but more specifically and more importantly, it's important for the spiritual nature of camp. Every Friday night, after everything's done, we have a campfire, and the purpose of that campfire is Testimony Campfire. It's a place where we're encouraged together as believers, but also kids go away from the campfire hearing their friends give testimonies, and that time is great for more kids making decisions because of what they heard their friends, how God impacted them. So that, again, this is a very important part of the spiritual nature of camp.
If you guys are interested in getting involved here at Camp Grace, you've seen us talk about the different buildings, things that God is doing here, we would love for you to get in contact with us. There's a lot of ways that you can help be a part of our ministry here at Camp Grace. One of those is to just come up for camp. Whether you're an adult wanting to come for a men's retreat, women's retreat, something like that, or a kid wanting to come for junior camp, teen camp, we have spots for everybody in every different type of camp. We also have the ability to work on all of these projects. So all of the stuff that we've done here has been done with volunteer labor. So if you're interested in bringing up your church group or a group of your friends to come up to Camp Grace to build, you can find that information on our website at campgrace.org. Another way you can get involved is through donations. So all of this stuff, just like it was built with volunteer labor, it was built using money given to us by donors, and we're very thankful for that. And if you would like to give to a project at Camp Grace or just give to Camp Grace in general, you can do that at campgrace.org/give. You can also support us. We are mission supported, which means that we raise money like missionaries do in order to provide for ourselves. So you can go to campgrace.org and /give, and you can support Marlon Driscoll, who's our director. You can support me or Wayne, and so that's another way that you can get involved here with the ministry at Camp Grace. I hope this is an encouragement to you as you've seen all that God has done, and we're excited to see what He'll do next summer and in the future.